Hi, I'm Scott Samuel here at the Culinary Institute of America at Greystone in Napa Valley. I'm going to show you how to make a really nice salad. It's a chilled salad and it's a green grape and wild rice salad with a sherry vinaigrette, toasted walnuts, and roasted red peppers. So a variety of nice components. The green grapes are going to add a nice sweet crunch to it. The wild rice, I'm using it because it's nice and smoky. It's got a nice chew to it. And then I'm incorporating other ingredients like mandarins and some roasted peppers, some toasted walnuts and some currants and some scallions and a nice vinaigrette. So let's take a look at our ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple ways to cook wild rice. We could do a method where we measure the water and measure the rice and bring it to a simmer, or we could do what I think is a lot easier. It's called the pasta method. So the pasta method is what we're going to do today. And I've got some hot water and I add my rice and I add a couple teaspoons of salt. And I'm going to bring this to a boil and I'm going to cook it like pasta. So as soon as my rice has kind of popped and cracked, I know that it's done and I'll strain out the rice. So wild rice usually takes about 30 to 40 minutes to cook. So this would be the first thing that I would do. Cook the rice, drain it, and while it's still slightly warm, we're going to add some of the mandarins. And then we'll cool the salad completely and add the rest of the ingredients. So I have done some wild rice ahead of time and we'll use that in our salad today. The next thing I want to do is make a nice vinaigrette for this. So what I'm going to do is the ingredients in the vinaigrette are sherry vinegar, orange juice, olive oil, tarragon, garlic, salt, and pepper. So the first thing I want to do is take my orange juice. I'm going to reduce it down until it's quite concentrated and syrupy. So this is in order to concentrate the flavor and kind of make this a bolder vinaigrette for this salad. Whenever I'm making a vinaigrette like this, I want to cut my tarragon pretty much once. I don't want to chop it a whole bunch of times because it will oxidize it. So I've picked the leaves off the stems, and with my knife skills, I'm going to go ahead and come through this tarragon just to give it a nice chop. But I don't want to go back and forth a whole bunch of times. That will oxidize it. So let's add our ingredients for the vinaigrette into the bowl. Tarragon, garlic, sherry vinegar, our salt and pepper. All right, so that's the base of the vinaigrette. So another thing that can be done ahead of time is the vinaigrette. So our wild rice, we'll cook it ahead of time. We'll make our vinaigrette. And then the salad can be combined with the rest of these ingredients. So let's look at our grapes. I just cut them into quarters or to smaller pieces so that they're kind of a bite size. I've taken my almonds and toasted them slightly in a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes until they start to smell nicely. I did the same thing with my walnuts. The toasting actually adds more flavor, I believe. Then I have some nice currants. I've sliced some scallions. And then we have red pepper that you can buy canned. I've got my peppers and I'm just going to cut these into about a 1/4 inch dice. So this is the easy way to do it. Just get a can of peppers, drain it off, and dice them. I want to show you another method if you chose to roast your own pepper. And what I do is I just roast this pepper straight over the flame. So I did this a few minutes ago, and I did it directly over the flame until it was completely charred. And then while it was still warm, put it in a bowl, cover with plastic, and it steams. And this is the best method if you're going to use fresh peppers. Once it steams for about 15 minutes, you'll be able to rub the skin off. So this is a little bit more work, but if you decide to do it, this is the method. You take the skin all off, and then we'll go ahead and take the core out and dice it like a roasted red pepper. All right, so taking a look at my orange juice. And then I'm going to go ahead and whisk in my olive oil. All right, so there's my vinaigrette. let's go ahead and build this salad. So I'm going to take my cooked wild rice. I'm going to add my mandarins that I've drained. Adding my toasted walnuts, my chopped scallions, and my dried currants, and my roasted red peppers. And in the very end, I'll add my fresh grapes. And now I'll add my vinaigrette. So what I like to do is toss this and combine it. I'm going to chill it for about 30 minutes to combine the flavors before I serve it. And this is great for a lunch salad or a dinner side salad, but it's best served cold. So our salad's had about a half an hour to kind of marinate and the flavors develop. And now it's ready to go. I can make this a day ahead of time. It'll actually hold nicely for a couple days, chilled. And I'm just going to garnish it with a couple of these green grapes. And at the very end, the toasted almonds. And there we have it. Green grape and wild rice salad with sherry vinaigrette, toasted walnuts, and roasted red pepper.